The sound that you all heard as I walk in is the sound of an old-school printing press, a Heidelberg Platen press. It was an indicator for me to identify an old print shops. Over the past years, I've explored all our industrial buildings, documenting and preserving printing heritage. Most old print shops, they don't open their door. And some don't even have a signage display. So when I encounter such old print shops, I, being thick-skinned, will look on their door. And with my broken dialect, I'll start a conversation. They release to their traditional setup. Uncle 你好，我只聽到發隻機聲，你仲用緊學板人隻機嗎 ？Hi, Uncle. I heard the sound of the Heidelberg printing press. Are you still using the letterpress printing method? Very often, when I talk about movable types and printing history, it brings back some of their forgotten memories of this process. And some will show me some of the last remains of this history, often covered in inches of dust. I've maintained an Excel sheet with all the print shops that I visited that still has such printing heritage with them. And now, just 2 to 3 on the list. The last generation of such an industry, hidden in the light industrial buildings, they are mostly in their 60s, 70s. They started their printing business in the 1970s, 80s. We used to have thousands over such print shops. And now, just a few left remaining for their exit. They have been through the letterpress transition to offset in the 1980s, the golden era of printing in the 90s, the digital age, and the decline of printing needs in recent years. Many of the old printers, they sit in their shop daily, waiting for their regular customers to place an order, not able to tap onto the digital platform for new customers. Sayang, seeing them one by one close, the last remaining printing heritage that survive in Singapore mostly are kept by these few old print shops. And when they close down, with them gone are all the printing heritage they hold on to. To many of the old printers, it's a job they can't wait to get rid of. Such printing process is no longer relevant to our modern day needs. We go back 201 years ago to this process that was introduced to Singapore by the London Missionary Society. Up until the 1980s, the majority printed products, including newspapers, books, daily stationery items, were printed with this process. It has influenced cultural design, education, and communication for the past 500 over years. The printing continues to today. Some of the old printers are still printing invoice packs, old school horse racing calendars. Some still using the old letterpress printing press, such as the Heidelberg printing press or the CMP press. This is a Singapore Chinese typecase in 3 sections. It holds more than 900 unique Chinese characters of a particular size. In the local setup, they will have a type case on top of a cabinet, and another Chinese type case flat on top of the cabinet for the ease of finding their Chinese characters, often in rows. For bigger Chinese print shop, they will have a wooden standing cabinet with smaller type case stacked up to hundreds in rows. Whereas for the English types and the other languages, it will be in a drawer system cabinet. That's where our uppercase and lowercase term came from. The capital letters in a typecase placed on top of the cabinet. The small letter in a typecase flat, slanted on top of the cabinet. The logic is that it's more efficient for the hand movement to pick the types. There's a period of time when printers has to pick individual alphabets in the form of metal types, one at a time. Millions of Chinese types in different languages and in different typesetting direction. Let me demonstrate how it works for the typesetting process. What we have here is a double case layout type case with the lower case on the left side and the uppercase on the right side. The lower case is in a sequence map whereby the most used letter will be in the center. The most used letter will be E. The typesetter will hold a composing stick on his left hand, and you use the master hand to pick the metal types from the type case. So you pick one letter at a time. Filling up all the negative space and inserting leadings for the in-between sentence. Sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph, page by page. Very often, when the print job is done, the printer's fingers will be all black, as the metal types has been used over and over again with ink stain on the metal types. In the Chinese newspaper building back in the 1960s, the editor gathered and draft articles for the day. The articles are passed down to the composing room, where pages of the articles will be typeset. Each day, there may be more than 3 sections of typesetting activities. Each section, more than 10 typesetters, each allocate to articles to typeset to form the pages of the newspapers. If there are missing characters, the typecasting machine will be used to cast the individual characters of the respective point size and typeface. For smaller print shop, once they're done with the print job for the Chinese printing, they have to put the Chinese characters, metal types, back to the respective compartment, one at a time. A Chinese newspaper is more than 20,000 characters, and a Chinese novel, more than 1 million. A typesetter picks around 1,000 characters in an hour, where now you can sit down with your keyboard, types around 3,000 in an hour easily. But that's not all. Singapore's unique diversity gave us the 4 main languages. We have the traditional Chinese, reading top to bottom, right to left in olden days. It's simplified now. We have the Jawi for the Malay, reading right to left. The Tamil and the English, reading left to right. A lot of other languages were as well being cast and published in Singapore, such as Japanese characters, Arabic, and Siamese. What's survived in Singapore are just a small amount of Chinese and English metatypes, with a few Japanese metatypes that I found last year for an old print shop closed down in Yunus. Not a single Jawi nor demo metatypes have been found locally. And for the type casting machine, only one survived. Stood at the lobby at the SPH Print Center at the Pioneer Road there. The whole history of the type foundry has been forgotten without much survive to tell the story. Can you imagine? All this been thrown away. This is one of the oldest streets in Singapore since 1823. There's no printing museum in Singapore. Most of the few printing display that's now in some of our local museums are mainly purchased from our neighboring country, Malaysia, where the last remaining printing heritage that survived in Singapore, kept by the old printers, slowly, silently disappeared as the printers closed down and retired. This is a printing block. Locally, we call it a dimban. It's used to print ghost money for the Chinese ritual, or we call it kim zua. It's actually a bigger than A3 size printing block. So it was using another form of letterpress machine called a cylinder press. The printing block was saved from an old print shop that was using it to balance the cabinet. Even our printers, local printers, they are not able to aware that it's worth saving. Isn't it so sayang? There's another meaning when I say sayang. In Malay, it means to love and to adore. Of the lost heritage and culture can be sayang by our generation so that it can remain for the next generation to adore. Thank you.